Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to NoDQ Live here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ. I'm seeing a super chat donation already. I always get one, it seems, right before the video. Oh, Noah Foster with a $5 super chat. Thank you to the Simple Man for that. Make sure you guys follow him over at NoDQ.com/Noah. Big props to Noah Foster for his contributions to the channel and also doing the predictions scoreboard for each show. Very much appreciated. All right, so a very noteworthy edition of Monday Night Raw this week. A lot to cover, a lot to discuss. Big changes for the Royal Rumble. We have a huge matchup set for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Let's go ahead and get started. Everyone's buzzing about Raw. For the first time in a while, it feels like there's some buzz heading into next week's edition of Raw as we get closer to the Royal Rumble. DVD King with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, DVD King. He says, love the new tag titles. Well, we will get to that here in a few minutes, and I will give my thoughts. So, Raw kicked off with a limousine arriving, and it was the man himself, Vince McMahon, and he had the limo driver do a little bit of a shine job on the limo to make sure it's spick and span. Colin Mack with a $2 super chat donation. He says, shout out to NoDQ, followed all you guys on Twitter. Well, thank you for that, Colin Mack. Very much appreciated. We had Braun Strowman come out. Oh, and here we go. I like this interruption, actually, because it'll tie into this video. Power Packers 90 with a $2 super chat donation says, Glass in theaters Friday. Yeah, we only had like 100 different announcements for it. And here we go. Big G with a $2 super chat donation. This NoDQ Live brought to you by Glass. For those of you that don't know, Glass is in theaters this coming Friday. Grant People says, hello from Michigan. Well, hello, Grant. A lot of awesome people in Michigan, I'll just say that. So Braun Strowman came out and he talked about the Royal Rumble. Once again, he referred to Lesnar as the Beastie Boy. He talked about how Lesnar had screwed him over. I believe he said that Lesnar or Baron Corbin, probably both of them, screwed him over at the World Cup pay-per-view. Somebody tell me what this World Cup pay-per-view is, because I don't recall a World Cup pay-per-view from 2018. I know there was a Crown Jewel pay-per-view, but not a World Cup pay-per-view. And I would like to thank everyone for watching, regardless of where you are. We have AP Mania from Israel watching right now, so we got people all over the place checking out NoDQ Live, and I really do appreciate it. And we also have 330 people watching live right now, so thank you guys for that. Virtue says, what will Josh Mansfield donate to Aaron Knight, and what will he ask Aaron? That's a very good question, Virtue. So anyways, we had Strowman rant on Corbin for a bit, but he said now that Corbin's out of power, nobody can save Brock Lesnar. Baron Corbin came out. He was upset about these comments, and Strowman got a "you got fired" chant going. Addicted Chip with a $2 super chat donation says, Demon Balor coming out at Royal Rumble? Again, I'll get to that here in a few minutes, but thank you for the super chat. And Kayfabe Candy Ass says, hello from Nikki Cross's hotel. Well, there you go. So we had Corbin come out. He was upset, and Corbin said that Strowman cannot beat Lesnar, and then Corbin said he's going to win the Royal Rumble. Strowman was pissed off. He chased after Baron Corbin. He went backstage. He was doing the old Looney Tunes routine. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? He was asking all these people. He threw one of the Singh brothers across the table out of anger. And then as he took off, we had Elias on the guitar. He started singing a song about knowing where Baron Corbin was. So Strowman came back, and Elias let him know through song that Baron Corbin was hiding out in a limousine. We had Strowman go to the limousine. He proceeded to grab a pipe. He learned his lesson. He learned his lesson from WCW because Bill Goldberg tried to break a limousine window with his wrist and his fist, and he sliced it open and had to have surgery and missed like 8 months of action. So at least Braun Strowman's not that dumb. I know he is the monster among men, but he wasn't stupid enough to try breaking the window with his bare fist. He was wise in his age to grab a pipe and smash the window with the pipe. Baron Corbin was begging and pleading for mercy. He ran off, and then also Corbin, before Corbin ran off, Strowman ripped off the door from the limousine. So he broke the glass, ripped off the door. Corbin took off. And then we had Vince McMahon show up, and he was not happy that his limousine got messed up. And I get it, WWE likes to do the comedy, but to me, like, Strowman trying to put the door back on just did not fit his character. I know it was funny, it was a nice idea, but to me it wasn't the right thing to do for Strowman's character. Why should Strowman give a damn about it in the first place? Josh Mansfield with a $2 Super Chat donation says, best Raw in months, way better than any NoDQ live. Wow. Well, thank you for the Super Chat, I suppose. Is that the best you got, Josh? I think you can do better than that. Just saying. So anyways, Vince fined Braun Strowman $100,000 for his actions, and then Strowman proceeded to get angry and say the limousine's a piece of crap anyways. And apparently this was too much for Vince. He's like, you're going to call my limousine a piece of crap, pal? Well, guess what? You're out of the Royal Rumble match with Brock Lesnar. So that's it. Strowman's out. What's the deal? There's been talk that his elbow hasn't healed yet, and WWE had to change the match, which I think is probably for the best, because I'm guessing Lesnar's going to WrestleMania as the champion. So was Strowman really going to lose again to Brock Lesnar? And plus, what were they going to do? Like the same match with F5, Strowman Power Slam, F5, F5. I mean, what were they going to do for that match that would have been different from the previous one? But anyways, we had Strowman respond to this announcement by Vince. What he decided to do was just do what Braun Strowman does, and he tipped over the limousine. Of course, we had the camera angles cut because we know in real life, he's not going to do that. He's not going to be able to tip over a limousine, but with the art of editing, you can have a cut and then show the limousine being tipped over with some kind of device that can tip it over, mechanical device. So there you go, Braun Strowman out of the Royal Rumble, and this was the start of a show-long storyline, which is something we haven't really seen in a long time. This was the first time in quite a while where WWE really went all out to get people hooked on the show, keep them watching, try to get the ratings up. First time in a long time. I mean, the effort was really put into this Raw, and I'll talk more about what went down here, and then I'll give my letter grade at the end. So stay tuned for that. Did I feel like Raw finally hit a home run? You have to wait and see. And Josh Mansfield with a $2 Super Chat donation, and here we go. He's going to try to one-up his previous diss. He says, well, been in class all day. I actually have a life. Oh, well, there you go. Josh Mansfield actually has a life. There you go. What kind of class is he taking, though? I mean, is he in community college? I mean, anybody can do that. Give me a break. So next up, we had Braun Strowman escorted out of the building, and then that led to a tag team match, players. By the way, this edition of Monday Night Raw was brought to you by the movie Glass, which is in theaters this Friday. You have to get to the movie theater and see Glass because WWE says so. Go see it this Friday in theaters. Glass. How much am I getting paid to promote Glass? I want to know now. So we had a tag team match, Sasha Banks and Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax and Tamina Snuka. Oh My God Ruler with a $2 Super Chat donation, going totally off topic here. He says, I hope CM Punk joins AEW. As do I, but we're talking about Raw here. I appreciate the super chat, though. And Michigan does rock. I will say that. So we had the tag team match. Sasha Banks tapped out Tamina, and then we had a promo between the two of them, which was kind of awkward. Felt like two high school girls arguing over something trivial, but it's supposed to be for the women's title. Basically, Ronda said she trusted Sasha, and that's why the tag match worked out for them. She honors Sasha and is honored to face her. However, beating Sasha is going to be her best accomplishment yet. And then Sasha was not happy, and she said it's going to be her pleasure to teach Ronda how to lose with class, to which Ronda responded that Sasha is going to be the world's classiest loser. Sasha was really upset. Ronda tried to calm her down, and that was the segment. So that was basically their falling out to set up the heat for the pay-per-view. Wasn't really a big fan of this. I felt like the dialogue was very lame, not well delivered by either of them. Backstage, you had Sasha Banks, or not Sasha Banks, you had Bayley, her tag team partner, and who was the other person? Wow, I'm blanking out on the other person. Holy cow. Oh, Natalya. Why do I always forget Natalya? I feel bad because I like Natalya. It was Natalya and no, I just said Sasha again. This is what happens when you don't book the women well. I forget who's who and what roles they had on the damn show. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Josh is getting a little bit better. Josh with the $2 super chat donation says, Aaron Rift talking is worse than a Braun botch promo. You're getting there, Josh. I mean, that's the best one yet. I'll give you credit for that one. So anyways, Natalya and Bayley were arguing, basically taking sides. Bayley, of course, taking Sasha's side, and Natalya was taking Ronda's side. Then we had them confronted by the Riot Squad, which led to a 6-woman tag team match, which I'll get to in a few minutes here. So backstage, there were several people lined up at Vince's office hoping to get a championship opportunity against Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. A lot of people were there, including Jerry Lawler, who came out of Vince's office. So I was wondering, what's that about? I mean, in reality, Jerry Lawler just signed a new deal with WWE and is apparently going to be doing commentary for the men's Rumble match. But was that supposed to be like a tease that Lawler was going to wrestle? I mean, part of me was hoping like Braun Strowman was going to come out and be the new opponent for Brock Lesnar. That would have been quite funny. I mean, it would have been terrible, but it would have been at least amusing. Next up, we had a tag team match between the Revival and the Lucha House Party. Oh My God Ruler with a $2 super chat donation. Again, going off topic. Guys, I love the super chats, but please try to stay on topic here. He says, what did you think of the women's tag team title design? You're going to have to stay tuned. You got to be patient because I got to cover one segment at a time. That's how we do things here on NoDQ Live. Ken terminated by Google with a $2 super chat time. He says, I think Mansfield should STFU and respect Aaron Rift. Well, thank you for that, Ken. Much love. I'm glad I got a little bit of support out there from y'all. TJS says Memphis is an hour away from me. Well, that explains a lot. Anyways, we had, just messing with you, TJS. Revival cut a promo on the Lucha House Party about all the other crap that they've been put through over the past several months. Then we had the match here, which was one of those matches that's so important that WWE cut away to the backstage area again to have Dasha, whatever her name is, the backstage interview her. She was talking to various people about the match. One of those people was EC3 in his WWE main roster debut. Yes, EC3 backstage segment where he literally said nothing. He was on screen for like 5 seconds. Oh, apparently it was Charlie Caruso who was the backstage interviewer. Same difference. So EC3 was interviewed. We had B-Team, Rhino, Heath Slater, Apollo Crews, Kurt Hawkins. And then we got back to the match. Revival won when Dash Wilder removed, I think it was Grand Metalik. I might be wrong. It might have been one of the other guys. But the one Lucha guy had his foot on the rope, and Wilder pushed the foot off, and then Dawson scored the pinfall victory. So there you go. Revival, by cheating, defeat Lucha House Party. This should have just been a squash. I mean, Revival should have just beaten them in 2 minutes, clean, end the stupid feud already. Why do you do the whole them cheating to win thing? You know, it just accomplished nothing. White Devil says, aren't you too old to watch wrestling? It's fake and aimed at kids. Good question. I mean, I definitely ask myself that every single day. By the way, thank you for letting me know wrestling's fake. I mean, I thought it was real this entire time. So next up, we had Vince McMahon come out to announce the replacement opponent for Brock Lesnar at the pay-per-view, and pretty much immediately we had John Cena come out. Cena came out and said that, when was it? 20 years ago, everybody abandoned him. Austin left, Rock left. I think Austin had to retire because of his injuries, but whatever. I guess when he had the whole thing with Deborah walking out for the Brock Lesnar match, all that stuff. The Rock leaving. Cena mentioned Brock leaving to go play football. Funny, you know what really would have made this like over the top? Like just would have been the icing on the cake. Cena should have mentioned that Chris Jericho walked out on you to go join an upstart wrestling promotion. That would have been like the greatest diss ever. Like that would have got, well, maybe not. Maybe this crowd was just too lame. Like, but I think like that would have been amazing. Like that might have broken the internet if Cena actually acknowledged Jericho walking out and going to a new promotion. Or CM Punk, as TJS mentioned. Like that would have just been brilliant, but you know, I guess WWE didn't want to take it that far. But anyways, basically the gist of it was that John Cena wants his chance. He wants to step up, and he's the only one there that has ruthless aggression, channeling his debut promo from 2002, and he wants his 17th World Championship. Then we had Drew McIntyre come out and say, how dare you claim to have ruthless aggression? McIntyre told Vince, this is what ruthless aggression looks like. And then McIntyre told Cena to leave. Power Packers 90 with a $5 super chat donation. Thank you for that, Power Packers. He says, Cena mentioned ruthless aggression for the first time since 2002. 2002's SmackDown set was a fist-breaking Glass. Glass is in theaters Friday. Holy crap, you are right. Thank you for that, Power Packers 90. How thoughtless of me to not plug Glass again, because it is coming out in theaters this Friday, and if you have $12, you should go to the theater, and if you have a little more money, if you have like $1, you can buy yourself a thing of popcorn that costs you 50 cents elsewhere, but you know, you get free refills, and you can spend $8 on a soda that costs like 25 cents. So go do it. This Friday, go to the movie theater and check out Glass. Or else. I think there was also a Royal Rumble video promo with the Rockers breakup where Marty Jannetty tried to escape Shawn Michaels by jumping through the barbershop window, and WWE even got a little Glass promotion in there too. That was clever. I did like that. I thought that was quite amusing. Glass in theaters this Friday. And Sean Warrington with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Sean. John Cena will never tie Flair for the most world title wins. Actually, he has already tied the record. He's going for the 17th World Championship, which I hate to say this, but it's highly likely that Cena will break that record. One day he will do it. For the time being, well, I'm not going to spoil the end of Raw. We'll get to that first before I talk about that. So anyways, McIntyre told Cena to leave just like the other guys. Corbin and Balor came out arguing their cases. Again, one thing I don't like about these segments, I don't like when just one guy after another comes out with the microphone. Who's regulating this, and why does Zack Ryder never come out with a microphone. You would think somebody back there would be, hey, if I want a title match, I got to go out there and get a microphone and say something. Like, where's Zack Ryder? Where's Kurt Hawkins? So it's just a big logic hole I don't like with these types of segments where one guy comes out with a mic, then the next guy, then the next guy, and then a match is made with those guys. But what about the other guys? What about Apollo Crews, who was standing backstage like an idiot? Yeah, I mean, at least Vince should have said, well, you know what? You four guys can have a match. We'll do a battle royal with the other guys, and then the winner of the four-way and the winner of the battle royal will face off or something like that. But whatever. Royal Rumble was coming up in 2 weeks, so WWE had to rush through this and get something set up. Tony H with a $2 super chat donation. Speaking of Zack Ryder, he says, Zack Ryder hates your eyebrows. Well, Zack Ryder hates more than just my eyebrows. I think he just hates me, period, because I supported that guy for years with just promoting all of his videos, and I wrote woo 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 you know it at Coachella, and the man betrayed me by making me blocked on his Twitter account after I shaved my head for the guy when he won the IC championship at WrestleMania 32. So thanks a lot, Zack Ryder. Pizza Slice. I think this is the first super chat I've ever gotten from Pizza Slice. He left the $5 super chat saying, Vince, congrats to Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor. Here we go with the spoilers. Take the IC title and a Universal title shot. Oh, and if you wouldn't mind signing these indefinite contract extensions. Well, that very well could be the case, although why would WWE want to sign Lashley to a long-term contract extension? I mean, Lashley's all right, but I really feel like it's Lio Rush that's carrying the act right now. But we'll get to that more in a few minutes, and unfortunately some of you have been spoiled, although I'm sure most of you know what happened on Raw, and you're just listening to me ramble and see what I thought about the show. All right, so back to Raw. Everybody came out. Vince made a fatal four-way match, and Balor said that Vince never believed in him, so Balor said he's going to prove it, and he did that by attacking Corbin. But in the end, everybody started fighting. Drew McIntyre hit Claymore kicks to Cena and Balor, laid them out, and Drew McIntyre was the last man standing, and Vince made the match for the main event spot. Fatal four-way, winner facing Brock Lesnar at the pay-per-view. Now, backstage, we had an upset Jinder Mahal, or Jinder Mahal, as Kurt Angle and Cindy would say. Jinder Mahal wanted a title match and was upset that he wasn't in the fatal four-way. And again, why is it just Jinder Mahal? Where are the other guys saying, hey, Vince, where's my shot also? Again, logic hole, but whatever. Jinder Mahal wanted a title match. He wanted a shot at the title, or I just said shot, so I'm not on Vince's Christmas card list this year. Not that I ever was. Vince decided, out of the kindness of there was a former WWE champion, he would give Mahal an opportunity against Finn Balor for the final spot in the Fatal 4-Way match. Now, this is a new era, right? Why is Vince screwing over the babyface? I thought Vince is supposed to be a babyface now. I don't know. I'm confused, but whatever. It was set up, Finn Balor versus Jinder Mahal, to determine the final spot in the Fatal 4-Way match. I guess because Vince doesn't believe in Balor. But again, I thought this is a new era, and the fans are the authority, and why would that even matter if Vince doesn't believe in Balor? I don't know. I guess I'm trying to look for too much logic in this, which is definitely not a smart thing to do. Josh, I ignore all your comments unless there's a super chat, so you're being ignored now. All right, so we had the 6-woman match. We had the Riot Squad versus Bayley, Natalya, and the debuting Nikki Cross. That's right, Nikki Cross making her Raw debut, and I guess this is her official main roster debut. She did make a few appearances here and there. She was on Raw several months ago to hype up Evolution, but she wasn't, I guess, officially part of the roster until now. So now she's officially part of Raw. She was coming out there doing like basically the female Ultimate Warrior, which I enjoy. I love the fact that she's showing some character and having some personality and being animated. So I like it. I like Nikki Cross, female Ultimate Warrior. I think it's a cool gimmick. Just let her be crazy. She does better crazy than Dean Ambrose at this point. Aaron Joel with a $5 super chat says, I haven't watched Raw and SmackDown since 2015. I just watch the pay-per-views and listen to the podcasts. Well, thank you for the super chat. And smart man, Aaron Joel. I mean, that's definitely a good way to go. Colin Mack with a 99-cent super chat. Thank you for that, Colin Mack. He did leave no comment, though, but thank you nonetheless. Jesse with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Jesse. He says, trying to find logic in WWE is like you trying to find hair on your head. Wow. Okay. That's a better burn than Josh. I'll give you credit. I mean, that tops anything that Josh Mansfield has said. I mean, you could take all of Josh's burns, and that's not even nearly as good as yours, Jesse. So, nice work. Well played. So we had the 6-woman match. Nikki went crazy. She was beating up all the Riot Squad members. And in the end, Bayley hit the flying elbow to pin Liv Morgan. So there you go. Nikki Cross off to a good start on the main roster. Better start for her than EC3, who was just in a random split-second segment. Colin Mack with a $2 super chat. And now he has a comment. He says, this should cover the burn cream. Well, I mean, maybe not. I mean, YouTube does take a little bit of the super chats. So it might not cover the burn cream. I mean, maybe at Walmart it would. Definitely not at Kroger, one of those stores. So next up, we had Finn Balor walk into the ring for his match with Jinder Mahal. Lacey Evans was in the background. Another debut where if you blinked, you missed it. So there you go. I guess we'll see more from her and EC3 in the coming weeks. Ambrose did a little backstage promo talking about how the triple threat match for the IC title is unfair, but he's going to prevail anyways, blah, blah, blah. Jinder Mahal attacked Finn Balor before their match could even get going. So that was the storyline here. Jinder Mahal taking advantage of the situation. And they kind of did like a Money in the Bank style tease where Balor was like, just ring the bell. And Mahal was waiting. He was ready to pounce. And as soon as the bell rang, he laid him out. Got a near fall, but Balor kept fighting back. Eventually, Balor was able to pick up the win with the coup de grace, double foot stomp, whatever. So there you go. Finn Balor beats Jinder Mahal. No surprise there, although some people thought Mahal was going to win and the internet would explode with anger. But thankfully, that did not happen. Finn Balor picked up the victory. And then we had Seth Rollins with a backstage promo talking about how, Dean Ambrose stabbed him and Roman Reigns in the back after Roman announced his leukemia battle. And how Ambrose threw away 6 years of friendship. Now, time out. I thought Seth Rollins turned heel and betrayed the friendship, and he was heel for 2 years before him and Ambrose finally became friends again. So how do you get 6 years out of that? That would be 4 years at the most. Are we supposed to completely forget that Seth Rollins was a heel? I mean, baby faces don't lie, and he just lied on national television. So, what the hell? Yeah, wasn't really a fan of this. Whoever wrote this did a poor job of it. Ambrose and Lashley started working together in the triple threat. I know, who cares? I mean, I'm nitpicking, but it bugs me when WWE acts like we're supposed to forget major storylines from a couple of years ago. But anyways, Bobby Lashley and Dean Ambrose were working together. More of it was Ambrose wanting Lashley to work with him to take out Rollins. Lio Rush kept getting involved during the match. Then Ambrose and Rollins briefly started working together. So I guess, they put aside their hatred for each other to double team Bobby Lashley for a minute. They used the steel steps on him, and then they started fighting each other again. They did the little hockey brawl where they punch each other like crazy. Um, we had Lio Rush get involved again, and then Seth Rollins went for the on Ambrose, but then Lio Rush pulled down the ropes and Rollins went to the outside, and that led to Lashley hitting the spear on Dean Ambrose to pick up the victory, and now we have a new Intercontinental Bob the Lash. Wow. Sure what to make of this. I mean, yeah, I joke around about Lashley and his butt, but it's more Lio Rush that I feel is really carrying the act. And I'm just wondering what the deal is here with Ambrose losing the title like this. I mean, I was not expecting it. Where does Ambrose go from here? I don't know. I really don't. So next up we had the Alexa Bliss segment, the Moment of Bliss. But before that, there was a backstage segment where this guy was bringing Alexa her latte. He was knocking on the door, no answer. So he opened the door, and Alexa was there changing her clothes, you know, something straight out of the Attitude Era. And she was all upset about him not knocking or making noise. So apparently Alexa Bliss is going deaf. Maybe she's having other issues besides whatever's keeping her out of the ring. Maybe she's just losing her hearing. I don't know. So we had Alexa Bliss come out for her Moment of Bliss segment, and she had a big announcement. At Elimination Chamber, it will be a 6-team match with the women. 3 teams from Raw, 3 teams from SmackDown. The winning team at Elimination Chamber, inside the chamber, will be the first ever of the new era Women's Tag Team Champions. And then Alexa revealed the new championships, and they look pretty cool. I like how they look. And, you know, I'm a little surprised we're not getting the titles introduced at WrestleMania, but at the same time, Elimination Chamber can use a big match, and this is a big match. And I like the fact that it's different from a tournament also. So if you're not doing a tournament, this is the next best thing you can do with a lot of teams in there, put them in one match. So I like it. I think it's a nice idea. I'm cool with it. I like the design of the titles. Good stuff here. So then we had Paul Heyman come out and talk about the change to the Royal Rumble. And this is where the segment just completely went off the rails and made no sense whatsoever. So Paul Heyman barely said anything. He started talking about the opponents. He was starting to run them down. And then Otis from Heavy Machinery came out, looking at the belt, started making weird faces. And this was just really awesome, just sitting there. And then Tucker Knight came out to try to calm him down. And then Heyman just dropped the mic and left. What was the point of bringing Paul Heyman to Raw? This was a very awkward segment. And what is the deal with this Otis guy? Is he the what was Luke Gallows' previous gimmick? Festus. Is he the new Festus? I mean, I don't understand what this was here. It did feel like Festus and Cletus or Jesse. Did I say Cletus? I meant Jesse and Festus. So then we had, oh wait, before I get to that, Nico with the $2 super chat, going off topic again, says, do you think All Elite Wrestling could force WWE back to TV 14? I don't know. Way, way, way too soon to say. Yeah, I got Cletus from The Simpsons on the mind when I made that comment. So then we had the main event, the Fatal 4-Way match between John Cena, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, and Baron Corbin. What I thought was hilarious here was that John Cena hit the AA on Drew McIntyre, and we know the AA never beats anybody anymore. It's a signature move. It's not a finisher. John Cena was going to pin Drew McIntyre with the AA if it wasn't for Baron Corbin making the save. Who booked this? Why not just have Drew kick out of the AA? Everyone else kicks out of it. Why do you need Corbin to make the save? Because that just makes it look like McIntyre was going to lose to one AA. So I don't know who was the agent for this match, but that was dumb. Tony H with a $2 super chat says War Machine equals women's tag team titles confirmed. Well, if my boy Vince Russo was booking this, that would probably be happening. So anyways, back to the match. Lots of pin breakups in this match, and it was a good main event. I did enjoy it. John Cena hit a super AA to Balor off the top rope, and then Corbin got a steel chair since it's no DQ in a fatal four-way. He was using the steel chair on Balor, and there was all this chaos, and then Balor ended up recovering from all this and hitting the coup de grace / double foot stomp on John Cena, and he pinned John Cena clean, absolutely clean, to secure his spot at the pay-per-view. Oh, another logic hole here. I mean, I just want to say, I think it's awesome how Balor was put over here. This was great. But the thing that bugs me, again, is we're supposed to forget history. So WWE pretended like that loss to Roman Reigns last year never happened because they were saying Balor never got his Universal Championship opportunity since having to forfeit it. That is not true. I complained about it for the longest time, and then finally Balor got his opportunity last year and then lost to Roman Reigns, and that was that. So we're just supposed to forget about that. WWE completely ignored that and acted as if Finn never got a rematch for the Universal title. So yeah, couple little things on this show I'm like just rolling my eyes at. But anyways, I'm happy Balor won. I think he was booked extremely well on this show. He had to overcome all the odds, being beat up by Jinder Mahal, having to win that match, and then be in the Fatal 4-Way, take the Super AA, and then get hit with the steel chair by Corbin, and then finally come back and pin John Cena clean. And on top of that, we had John Cena get on the mic and endorse Finn Balor. Power Packers 90 with a $2 super chat says, Finn's win proves Vince is worried about All Elite Wrestling. Now, see, I don't know if that's the case or not, but, it's been rumored for a while now that Balor was going to get a big push. So there you go. John Cena said that Vince might not believe in him, but the fans do. And now there's one more person that believes in him, and that's John Cena. Cena said he believes in Balor. He shook his hand. He raised his hand, and that was the end of Raw. So Finn Balor officially facing Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. And I am a little bit surprised. I mean, I'm very happy for Balor. I'm surprised it's not Cena just because the Royal Rumble tickets are not selling that well. I checked on Ticketmaster today, and there's still a lot of seats available, a lot of really good seats available, like lower level seats for the Royal Rumble. And you can get, if you want to go the cheap route, there's like $25, $30 seats on StubHub right now. So there's a lot of seats available for the Royal Rumble. They're not even close to being sold out. And I was thinking when this was all going down, WWE's just going to go with their tried and true draw, and that's John Cena. But they didn't. They went with Finn Balor, and there you go. Now, here's what I'm wondering, and I think a lot of you are wondering. Is Finn Balor going to bring out the Demon? To me, I think you need the Demon for the Royal Rumble. Is he going to lose? Very good chance he's going to lose. But I think for this match, Balor needs to be the Demon to put this over the top and to give people this hope that Balor can win. I don't think Fonz Balor has any chance of beating Brock Lesnar. But if Balor does the Demon gimmick, maybe, just maybe, he'll beat Lesnar. So I really feel like they got to do it. They got to. That's how the go-home show has to end. You have to have Brock Lesnar come out, Paul Heyman, they're cocky, they're arrogant, and then you see Finn Balor on the Titantron saying, you know what, I thought about it. Finn Balor, I cannot do this match. I'm sorry to everyone, but it's not going to happen. He walks off, and then Heyman and Lesnar just start laughing their asses off, and then bam, lights go out, Demon comes out, big stare down, Brock Lesnar's in disbelief, You end the show there without them touching. Go to Royal Rumble for the big match. That's what I would do to set up the Royal Rumble, but that's just me. That's my opinion. Overall, I thought Raw was a really strong show for the first time in a long time. WWE did pick up the pace here with Raw. The show flowed well. It had a show-long storyline to keep people invested. I did have some issues with it, so I am not going to go with an A grade for the show. However, I am going to be generous and give a B+ for this week's Raw. Very close to an A. And I was thinking about an A-, but like I said, I had a few issues with the show overall, but for the most part, I thought it was very well done. So B+ for Raw, best Raw in a while, and so far so good. I mean, this is the new era, and WWE's promising they're going to shake things up. So far so good. No Lars Sullivan. Now, there's been conflicting reports, and I'm seeing a lot of B+ for the show, so I think a lot of people agree with me on that. To Mike, Heavy Machinery, they're a team from NXT. They haven't really done a lot in NXT, but WWE decided to call them up anyways. So, they're just another act from NXT that basically they were not really a focal point in NXT. They were just one of those recent teams that got called up and were just used a little bit, and then they got called up. Josh with the $2 super chat says, I pass my diss hat off to Aaron Joel. NoDQ rocks. Well, thank you for that, Josh. Very humble of you to make a comment like that. So yeah, B+ for Raw. Pretty good show. Well, I'd say very good show. Just a little short of great, but a very good show. Grant with the $2 super chat says, wondering if you watch Major League Wrestling. I do not. I mean, I barely have enough time to watch Raw and SmackDown as it is. I did watch the NXT UK pay-per-view, which if you haven't checked it out, go watch it. I was on there with Stephen Osborne and General Jerry. And check out their review videos. They're very committed to covering the NXT UK shows and NXT every week. So check it out on the NoDQ channel. Ken Terminated by Google with the $2 super chat says, are you going to keep your head shaved? I hope you keep it. Well, thank you for that, Ken. And, I probably will not be growing out my hair like that anymore, but you never know. I may feel like it, and then I'll get all the people complaining, but whatever. I'll just do what I feel like. But thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. So stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest. Very interesting show. A lot happened, and if you missed anything, there's some clips up on NoDQ.com which you can check out. Stay tuned for updates on Lars Sullivan, updates on Braun Strowman. All that stuff will be up on the site. NoDQ.com, and I will be back tomorrow night